he he lost his dad when he was 6, and so when I figured that out, that was very hard for me because then he knew what it was like, and it was kind of like he knew exactly what he was getting me into, and he didn't do a very good job either of hiding himself, or at least making it so I couldn't find him. And I mean, there's a couple things that he could have done that would have been very easy, um, but he didn't do that, and it was almost like I don't know. And then the fact that he was sorry for his mistakes that he had made previously. It was like he's the one who made the big mistakes. I mean, he had an affair on my mom. So then he was going to turn around and leave was just like the easy way out. So that was like it made me very upset because it was like we didn't even do anything. He's the one who did everything, and then we suffer for it. But yeah.
He was gonna die.
That was saying my mom used to go on runs, and it was like, well, here we go. Like it was kind of a guessing game, like 50-50 she comes back or not. Like it was killer. Just
Yeah.
because, and then I remember like sometimes I would sit under my bed and just wait because I didn't want to hear if she had died. I didn't want to, like, that was it. Like, if she didn't come back, I was just going to live under my bed just because I didn't, I refused to ever see another dead parent. I refused to ever hear. One of the things that I really remember about that day when I saw my dad was there was this police officer and he had to tell my mom and I that he had died. And it's like those words ring in my ears. And I just refused to ever hear anything like that again. I mean, when I was little, like I've had to work through a lot of stuff, but it was, I definitely hid under my bed with stuffed animals for a long time.
Yeah.
But I was always trying to figure out if the first thing I do is punch him in the stomach or hug him. Sometimes I'll get angry just because I feel like when things get hard, it's his fault. But then I have to shut that down real quick because that just that's just putting it off on someone else. Um, so I mean, it took a lot of work, and I felt like I mean, like 2 months ago, I was able to forgive him. So it's not. I mean, it took a while. It took a long time.
Yeah.
When it's done, still, it's going to be a work in process all my life. It takes a part of you that I don't think you ever get back. It really does mess up the people that have to deal with it just because you can't answer it. Until you talk to the person, there's no answer, and there never will be. And I think that it definitely causes some issues. Um, and I think it really does cause self-esteem issues, just because you just feel that. I mean, like especially with losing a parent, it just causes trust issues for sure. No matter what, whoever it is in your life, trust issues, because then it's like I, I thought that person was okay, but they're not. So how do I know that the next person isn't going to do it? And it made me so mad because there was a whole bunch of sorries, and I wish I could have done this, and wish I could have done this. And I mean, like I would have understood if he had cancer and he wrote that letter, but he took his own life. So it was like you had the opportunity, you wish, but you had a choice. And then this summer, actually, I like actually felt like I forgave him, and I had, I just had the letter in the back of my mind, and I was like, I'm going to read it one last time, and then I'm going to rip it. And I did that, and it was the most relieving thing, just because the letter wasn't him. The letter wasn't the good memories I have of my dad. It was just all the negative ones. And I remember at first my mom was like, "Wait, what the heck? Why'd you do that?" And then like it kind of sank in, and it was kind of good because it was this negative part of my dad that we could have gotten rid of, but we held on to just because it felt like a memory of him, but it wasn't a good one. Like there was some good in it. I mean, he said he loved us, but it was just a different type of love, like a hopeless love.
Mm.
Uh, I think it brings up a lot of emotions when we talk about it, just because it causes so much damage. Like it just brings up. I think it then brings up the damage in us, and that no one wants to admit that they're broken. But I think that's the most important part, is admitting that you're broken and going from there.
Yeah.
Probably getting in a relationship. The last memories I have is my mom and dad having an argument, and so that's where I struggle. And it's like all this stuff where it's like I don't trust her. I have a hard time. Like I've just noticed that's where it's the hardest for me, is trying to build other relationships, because the trust factor comes in where if I really care about the person, I'm worried that they're going to leave. Just because it comes back to that spot where if my dad could do it, then anyone could. Actually, yes, we're talking about my dad and just kind of the trauma that has come with it, for sure. Because now it's not dealing with the anger and the resentment and all that. It's trying to deal with the actual physical trauma that has come with it, which is I didn't really think was a real thing until she explained it, and I saw it in others that there's actual legitimate trauma that comes with it. Yeah. I mean, I never thought about that until I think I had a conversation with you where my mom told me about that idea, because she talked to you, was that there is an actual trauma. So I always thought of PTSD as, you got shot in Iraq and, but probably say the best thing is to go get counseling right away, and let yourself be angry and not okay, and let yourself feel all of it, and to focus on the good memories, but also accept the bad ones too, but work on it. Like, it's going to be a long journey, but don't do it alone. Just like this website shows, I mean, you don't have to be alone in it at all. The worst thing you do is not talk about it. Not talking about it takes you nowhere. And then you have to like self-medicate with other things that just make it worse. So it's hard. Not talking about it. I mean, talking about it's hard, but it's worth it.